Rex, and welcome to another tips and tricks video for Simcity. Today we're going to be discussing how to level up your Sims industry using schools, universities, community colleges, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. But I also was on Twitter yesterday with some of the developers, talking to them and got some information from them, so I'll share my tweets and more importantly what they responded to them and what I learned from that. So tech and increasing the education of your Sims is really important. You can see clothes need workers, yeah, whatever. But we have zero education, and it's like that around the city. I'll show you how the city's set up. I built the road structure. I think it's pretty good, using the logic we talked about in the previous video, and I think it's a good setup. But I'll show you guys that later. Maybe got some minor adjustments. We have so many buses, which you'll see later. So we got all our junk in the middle, and then our industry is spread out around the outside, because you'll see that when you put down education, let's go with community college, right? It's going to raise the thing. There's the green area right around it, and that's where theoretically it says place increases tech level of nearby industrial buildings. And the question is whether it's nearby industrial buildings, meaning the whole city, or just that area. Because ideally you'd want to put, like we talked about in the previous video, you'd want to put your schools away from your industry to stop traffic. But with this, it has to be near it. That would mean that you would have to put it near it, and that would cause major traffic problems. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop it, let's drop it right here. And there's some other stuff I want to show you guys with this. So we're going to drop this straight up university, upgrading. Let's add some stuff to it. Don't have to worry about research. Walkways, what's the point of those? Pedestrians, School of Business, School of Engineering, School of Law, School of Medicine, and School of Science. The schools we don't need, but we're just trying to increase the overall education level. So add 2 dormitories, get a sign out front to make people feel special, and yeah, we don't need walkways. Walkways are overrated. They can go bushwhack their way through. So what this is going to do is, you can see the green area. So if it just follows the green area, it's actually a radius. That's interesting. It doesn't follow the roads. It's just straight what's close to it, because this is green. That's really interesting. The city also has no other schools, just so there's no confusion what's going on with it. So I'm going to jump out of this commentary for a second. I'm going to let it run so the tech level can influence the people around you, and I'll hit you guys back up. Give me a second. And I'm back. So what we did is we put the university down right here, and we actually fully upgraded it. Every dormitory is locked down. I think there's 4 at this point in every school possible you can do. It's actually really funny. They all look like ants coming in and out. I think we had 2,000 students at one point. Yeah, 2,700 students, which is a lot. So you saw the green area, and here's what it affected. So here's industry, fully upgraded education. Let me sit on it longer so you can see. You can see right here, fully upgraded education, that everything's improving. These things just rebuilt. They just started. We lost some funny names though. I was looking around while you guys were between the cut. But what's interesting is, so these are all upgraded. Yeah, that one has half education. But you go over here, and yes, this is industry. You can prove it there. The education is it's actually spreading. That's interesting. It takes a while to spread. So a couple seconds ago when I looked, it wasn't there yet. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure this out. Where we go. So what that means is, that's not industry. C. Okay. So in the tweets they talked about, yes, it affects your entire city, but it affects the area closest to it the most. So how I see that as reading is, this area is going to be the most high tech. We're going to have medium high tech in the bigger area, and then even just some tech on the far end. Now what they did say was that if you put bus stops in front of it, it can get the education to other cities. And my city is so many buses, you guys can see. There's no bus stops right in front of it, but it's easy for them to get to buses. So I think that would be why they're getting around so much. Now, one last thing I want to test is if we put buses in front of it. So we have a bus terminal, which means we have buses going, it's fully upgraded, but that's regional buses, so it'll go to another city. So I'm going to put down a bunch of bus stations right in front of the university and see if we can get the education to spread to another city. The other city has absolutely 0 schools in it, and should, if the tweets are right, I'll show you guys the tweets, but if the tweets are right, they should be able to transfer some education over. People could commute to school. So let's just drop a bunch of them down. Yeah. Zoom in. You want both sides of the road if you're making bus stops. It's a tip I saw from one of the guys. Okay, so those, another bus stop there. Just spamming bus stops in this area. And we maxed out the buses, so there's as many buses as possible going back and forth. There we go, spam. And if you're wondering how we have so much money, we're in sandbox mode, and there's ways of adding money. What you do is you hit Alt W, and it will give you, watch, Alt W, and it gives me 100 grand, I think. So that's how I do that. Alright, so I'm gonna jump out of this, and I'll show you guys what our progress is in another day. And back for our final section. So, it took a little bit, I'll explain to you guys in a second, but this is the other city. You guys will remember part of it from the traffic video. And this map that we're looking at right now is the industrial tech map. And this is showing the industry tech coming into the city. Now I'm going to play it, and you're going to see these purple lines grow. You can see that this factory has 0 education, and this one has a little bit of education. It's building, and it will slowly grow across the city as more and more students commute. So you see it now. Hey, it's minor growth, the color's changing a little bit, but we're going to go back to it. What I want to show you is that we successfully made the students go. Here's students, and they're traveling. So there we go. They're traveling from Trinity Point to Clearwater. Now, if you look here, we got total students, all that junk. But the arrow is pointing there, and that's what that happened. So the keys to making this work, we needed 2 things, and I'm not sure exactly which one is the one that worked. So I built a bus terminal, meaning I could get commuters to go back and forth. That I think is for just industry. I looked, and I put bus stops everywhere. These are school bus stops, and I think these are picking up some of the students. Not 100% sure because the other town does not have bus stops, but I think both of them together make it work. I would personally, if I was doing this on a real city where money was a matter, was a concern, I would just use the bus terminal, and that should do the job fine. And it's going to be a little slow. This is like 2 days it took me between the last segment that you saw, but you'll see that the tech is increasing, and we need workers there. It's slow though, so it's not something. It's not an instant fix if you have a problem. It's a long-term progression. You can see that it's slowly going out. Not by a whole lot, but it is going. Yeah. So build your factories. If you're going to have a city where you want them commuting to a university, build your factories as close to your highways as possible in the hopes that it will attract more students to commute, and then the places that are the students that commute will work at factories that receive the education. So I'll show you also what I did just in closing to the other city, so you can see that I put bus stops in front of it. It's pretty cool, the lighting over there. But while we go here, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you're new around here, and let me know what you wanted me to talk about in future videos. I got this idea from one of the comments in the traffic video, and there's quite a few on the list, but let me know what you personally want me to talk about and how I can improve. Hopefully we fixed the sound from last video. So people were letting me know that, hey, the sound was too loud on the game volume. So, let's see, bus stops. There we go. You see I just spammed bus stops all over this corner of the map, and that's why all this transit is working so well. So hopefully you learned something here. basically, in summary, is you can get university students to commute, and within commuted cities and outside commuted cities, closer to the university gets the most education the fastest. So in the city closest to it, and it slowly spreads across, or if they're coming in from a highway, it slowly spreads across. So always build your industry as close to your college as possible, especially because colleges, universities have their own traffic flow, because most of the students are coming from the dorms. Community colleges are a little different because people commute to them. So there's the video. Hopefully you learned something and enjoy this beautiful city. Alright, this has been your boy Adarex. Peace.